Hey everybody, welcome to Marvel Movie News. Today we're talking about Black Panther, and we're talking about Venom, and we're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we're gonna talk about The Gifted and the Inhumans. So sit right there, and we're gonna talk to you.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Marvel Movie News.
All out there, I didn't stumble too much, but I never know how to end it. That's my problem. I'm always like, and just sit right there. And then I kind of linger, and I'm just like, did I say it all? Did I do it? Did I do it?
You did.
I've been doing it for 2 years now. You'd think I'd be like, oh, I've done it. I've done it correctly.
Yeah. Episode 150.
We are the Marvel Movie News. This is episode 150.
Rah! The crowd goes wild. Was that an air horn?
Yeah, I was doing my air horn.
So proud of you guys.
Thank you, Ollie.
Yeah.
Thank
150
you.
episodes.
150.
You. Oh, okay, so I have to do this.
We're so good. We're so professional and good at this. It is funny because like when we first started the show, I was like, when they first came to me like, hey, do you want to do a Marvel show? I was like, yeah. I was like, it'll last for 20 episodes. Like, it's not gonna hook. It's not gonna stick. Now 150 later.
Oh, maybe that's something that we should incorporate into the show. You tell us some of the history of Marvel Movie News.
Well, back in my day, you see.
Hey, I'm genuinely interested.
Yeah, Throwback Tuesdays. Why not?
Yeah. Come back on Tuesday where I'll tell you the history of the show that you've been watching for 150 episodes. We are the Marvel Movie News. This is episode 150. Come to you live from the inhuman city of Adelan. I've always say Adelan. Other people say Atalan, but I say Adelan.
Oh, I've always said Adelan.
Yeah. On our show, we tell you all the news from all the studios. Why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. Also on their website, popcorntalknetwork.com. On Twitter at Marvel News PTN or at the Popcorn Talk. Also on Facebook.com/Marvel News Show. And if you'll tweet a link out to our show with a message telling people that they can involve themselves in the live chat,
yes,
Aunt Manthony in our booth will retweet you.
Hello, everyone.
We tweet.
I just want to say congratulations on your 150th.
Oh, yeah. Can we get an air horn?
I got some cheering for you.
What's that? Yeah. Wow, Ollie.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, that's all my voice. That's all my voice.
Ollie, wow.
Yeah. Also, it was Aunt Manthony's birthday yesterday, so
what?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Like, so, you know who else's birthday is on October 1st, which is my birthday?
What?
Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, that's right.
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
That's right. Let me write down these birthdays so we don't forget this at the end of the show.
Gotta give Brie, a sexy shout out tonight.
I'm so nervous. I don't think I could.
She's watching.
We know you watch Brie Larson.
Yeah, and for those in the chat room, Coy is with us in spirit. He had an audition, so
he had a last-minute audition come up this morning.
And it's just one of those things. Yeah, we're all
that's
actors.
That's how you live in Hollywood. That's how you roll in Los Angeles.
But he'll be back next week, and we can extend the birthday celebration to episode 151. It's great. Good excuse. I'm one of those people that celebrates for a week anyway.
Yeah. My wife does a month. She has birth month, not
yes,
birthday.
Brittany.
Like
yes.
Yes, Brittany.
Yes.
My name is Matt Key. At the Matt Key is my Twitter. We're joined by not Coy Jandreau at CoyJandreau, but we do have at Marquis McCarty at MarkeiamCCarty. Yeah.
Happy
birthday to me. I'm getting it down.
Yeah.
And we have Ollie Dreamboat, the dreamboat that he is.
Hi, guys. Good to be back. I'm chatting with you guys in the live chat, so please ask your questions, your comments. We want to know and get the discussion going.
We've also got, as I already said, Aunt Manthony's in the booth. Thank you, Aunt Manthony. We've got Colt Badeau tweeting from the Starjammer. We're going to start the show off today. Thought we'd do things a little bit differently. Start with a little bit of a live read. Get some live reading to do.
Yeah.
Support for this podcast comes from the astonishing new television series Marvel's Inhumans. On the dark side of the moon, there exists a civilization unlike anything you've ever seen before. People with extraordinary powers and abilities that make them more than human. They are inhuman. Meet Black Bolt, the king. The sound of his voice can destroy a city. Medusa the queen, whose hair is a living weapon, and Lockjaw the giant bulldog who teleports the royals from planet to planet. But now treachery in the form of Black Bolt's evil brother Maximus threatens the royal family and their kingdom. The royals have been forced to escape to their true home, Earth, where the real fight for their future has begun. Join in this epic family drama as two brothers battle to claim one throne. Marvel's Inhumans, new episodes Fridays, 9/8 Central on ABC. We will, of course, be giving our full review of the first 2 episodes of Inhumans at the end of the show.
It'll be right after our The Gifted review, right?
And I want to point out, I'm sure our audience is going, wait, don't those guys, they haven't really had a lot of good things to say about the Inhumans up to here. Why are they doing a live read? Doing a live read because
all of these are facts.
They support our show. We want to do right by them to do the live read. And you know what? Watch the show. Make up your own mind.
Exactly.
Well said. And Lockjaw.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll say every single time Lockjaw came on the screen, I was like, it's a bulldog! It's a 2-ton bulldog! Happy birthday. That's what I want. I want a 2-ton teleporting bulldog named Lockjaw. I would name it Lockjaw. I would keep the name. All right, let's move on. Let's get to very exciting news.
Yes.
Black Panther.
Yes. I was like, why is Matt looking at me? He's just staring at me and saying really exciting news. Yes.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick, and then I'm just gonna turn Marquia loose. So there was let's see. There's at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's annual legislative conference. They showcased new footage from Black Panther. They showed some scenes that had never been seen before. We don't have any descriptions of those.
No, we don't. I looked.
I know, right? It's so frustrating. But we do have a quote of, oh man, I think I forgot to write this down. We have a quote from a dude, I think he writes for The Root, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
He says, the action is kinetic, like a mixture of Coogler's fight scenes from Creed and the manic bullet ballets from the Kingsman movies. And then he went on to give a description of the 2 scenes that I saw at Comic-Con and we've already talked about, so I don't want to cover it too much here, but the action is kinetic like Coogler's fight scenes from Creed and manic bullet ballets from Kingsman. That's a dream.
Ooh,
that is
the imagery from that alone. Because I already love Colin Firth, and then him and Kingsman. And if you haven't seen Kingsman, see Kingsman. There's a church scene.
Oh man,
where he just kills all these haters. For real, he kills the haters.
Yeah,
but he
last
does
man
it.
standing.
He does it in this great. I mean, that's a really great way to say it. A manic bullet ballet.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
But then to picture that kind of style, which felt real. It didn't feel rehearsed. I mean, obviously it was rehearsed, hours probably of rehearsal.
Of course,
but it didn't
days,
feel it. It felt smooth. It felt organic. And then to see that in a Black Panther type of thing, to see that in a Black Panther movie, are you kidding me? Are you kidding with that? And then plus, they're saying, Ryan Coogler's fight scenes, they're not specifically saying that it's Chadwick Boseman. They're not saying that it's specifically Black Panther. This might be Michonne. Sorry, her real name is Denai Guanera.
Yeah.
Yes. This might be her, that casino scene.
Nakia,
Yes, when she's doing with the pole and everything. It's this could be all the things.
I'm so excited to see you with the
I know, this is great.
I can't wait for the trailer for you.
I think you need to record yourself watching the entire thing. At some point,
in the theater,
yes,
Black Panther.
Yes,
I just play one of those things that they do for ghost. Ghost
the paranormal activities.
I'm so scared right now.
The camera's just only on you the entire time. It needs to happen.
I actually wrote about this for Geek Girl Authority. I broke down what does it mean to say it's from Creed. I was like, let's take it literally and say that this dude wasn't just throwing out it's kind of like this and like this. I was like, let's break it down. What does it mean to be from Creed, and what does it mean to have the Kingsman movie? And what I came up with is Creed. What Creed does really well, that oneer in the ring where it's his first big fight. Okay. It's all one shot. But what's amazing about that is that you can feel the stakes, you can feel the character. You're rooting for one character. You can see the pain. It's so close up and intimate and visceral and brutal and real. And it's there are stakes. You're invested in this character winning because it's so close up, and you can see him just oh my God, that hurt. So you got that.
Yeah, and then with Kingsman, you kind of have that because the character is very stately, but he also can beat that butt. Yeah. And he does that in a very efficient way, a very efficiently lethal way. Yeah. It's almost is that Colin Firth or is that the Punisher right there? Yeah. And he's just going to town.
He's just where did he get that gun? Oh, he stole it from that other guy. How did he do that? He's out of bullets. No, he's not. It's
whoa, what is that, a pool cue? No, he's using a flag.
Oh, that's a flag that he broke in half, and now he's got a screw down. What? But that, on top of what you were just saying, Nakia Okoye, all the Dora Milaje, on top of T'Challa. Why am I forgetting his sister's name? Shuri. Like,
how dare you?
Like, oh God,
get out!
I will be murdered right now. Yeah, like take all of that on top of Wakandan technology. Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
Goosebumps.
All right, that's a good way to start the show.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that before we move over to Venom?
Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday, Captain Marvel. You get to follow this movie. Black Panther being the movie I'm referencing. All right.
Well, yeah. Well, Infinity War will actually. I think that's the best possible one to follow. So she gets to follow that.
What a lead-in.
Right?
Like, you get to start 2019 after 2018 with Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, just go do it.
Yeah.
Go do that, Captain Marvel.
Nice.
And I mean, the rumors are right now that she starts shooting that in like January, February of next year. So,
all right.
Maybe
it's like a great post-Christmas present.
Oh my goodness.
I love post-Christmas presents.
Maybe in 5 months we'll start seeing some behind-the-scenes footage of Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, and
we'll see the hair they choose.
The hair.
I shouldn't be fixated on hair. I shouldn't be.
Yeah, but
I kind of am because it's my life.
I mean, we were talking all about Medusa, so
yeah.
Hair's important.
And it is the early 90s.
Yeah.
Were Mohawks a thing in the early 90s? I don't know.
I think they were always a thing.
I was in middle school and not allowed to participate in pop culture at that time in my life. So
I think society is taken to kind of criminalizing Mohawks in a way where it's like, oh, that's not appropriate workplace attire. Be like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Our ancestors wore this.
I want to see you use that argument next time you go to try to get an accounting job. Our ancestors wore this. Yeah. All right, Miss McCarty, there's the door. Thank you. All right. Sources have told Variety and Hollywood Reporter that Michelle Williams, great actress. I can't see Michelle Williams without thinking of two things: Dawson's Creek, and how much she loves to take roles where she just cries a lot. And she's great at it. Like I'm not like bad mouthing her at all. Like I think she's an incredible actress. But like that's when I see her, I'm like Dawson's Creek and crying.
Yeah. Well, it's if you have a really good skill set and you're really good at it, kind of like and I'm gonna butcher his name, Uwan Rio.
Ewan Rion? Maximus? I don't know. I say Ewan. Hey, Ewan.
Okay. I'll just call him that. Ewan. Like with him, he's a really good bad guy.
Yeah, he's a great bad guy.
It's like, that's a really good skill set for him. So.
So the rumors are that she's going to be she's being vetted by the studio. She's her people are in conversations with their people to play the love interest to Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy. Venom. It's exciting. That's fun.
Cool.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I like that they're moving forward with the Venom, the Venomness, because I love Tom Hardy. So I'm really interested in how they're going to.
I'm really confused because
it's going to be. I think it could be really good.
It could be. It
depends.
Like, the names that they're getting are good.
Yeah. We'll see.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. So right now I forgot to pull the quote, but the quote said she would be playing a district attorney and possibly Eddie Brock's love interest. The only character that I know of that is his ex-wife, Anne Weying. I don't think I'm saying it right. Weying, W-E-Y-N. That's why I was like, what is the name? Weying.
I don't know. Well, for me, most of my life is like reading comic books as opposed to actually saying what you
so like
see
all of a sudden you have to
loud.
say it out loud. You're like, wait, am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
But she was an attorney. She's an ex-wife, and they got along relatively well, like despite being divorced. But she went on to become She-Venom.
Nice.
And I think that would be kind of awesome to see her become Venom, She-Venom, along with Eddie Brock's Venom. And by the way, can we call him, if she's She-Venom, he's He-Venom, right? Like,
it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. But, I had a few other people on Twitter, some of our Marvellites, tweet out that it would be awesome to see, like, a female Carnage. And, if, like, she'd, instead of, like, Cletus Cassidy, she was, like, Cleo Cassidy.
As long as I get just that epic level of crazy that you have with Carnage, just that disrespect for human life or dog life or just like any life in general, as long as I get that, I don't care what the package is. I want that characteristic. I need that character. But You know, maybe I'm different. Other people need for things to look a certain way, and I'm about, you know.
You just want the core of the character.
I want the core of the character.
Yeah,
that's
the most important thing. Yeah. It is to me, you know. So, all right, let's move on. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Set photos offer our first look at Ghost. It's uncertain if this is the actress Hannah John Kamen. It's kind of like a blurrier picture. It's a little hard to see.
Okay.
They're very clearly standing in front of the Ghostbusters ghost house. I'm just kidding. That's not true. I really want it to be true. That would be amazing.
That would be
like a Ghostbusters
fun.
Marvel mashup. Oh my God! Like, just I would never go see another movie again. I'd be like, just keep playing
really
this
cute.
one.
They're just outside the Ghostbuster firehouse.
Yeah. She is the Ghost. Ghost is a character from Marvel, I believe, introduced in Iron Man, where Ghost is basically kind of like Ant-Man or Iron Man. It's a tech suit based hero, but their tech suit can turn invisible and allow them to phase through walls, and they are like super technology hacker. So they can be like they're like their name is apt. Is what I'm saying. Like, it's an appropriate name for the villain.
Yeah, that's a very strong skill set to have too.
Yeah, right. That's kind of OP. Like, that's like you're kind of actually a ghost at that point. Like,
yeah, I mean, Kitty Pryde.
Yeah,
much?
mechanical. I was supposed to say mechanical Shadowcat. I'm waiting to see her, but with no mutants being in MCU, so
I know
Star-Lord's over here. Come on, we got some Kitty Pryde. We can
let's get let's get this Kitty Pride Star-Lord relationship going. I started off in the comics. I was like, I don't know that I like this, and then I was like,
no,
I actually got
awesome. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
They're a good couple. We're talking about the comic books, everybody. Go read a comic book, you kids. Yeah, that's exciting. Like, we know nothing about the character, or relatively little about the plot and the way that the villains play into this. Obviously, we're not going to see a trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp until, let's see, that movie comes out in June or August next year?
Yeah.
Or July?
Yeah, but that's a good villain though.
So we probably won't see a trailer for this until January. So January, February is my guess. So maybe March when WonderCon comes around.
Yeah.
Oh,
WonderCon
maybe they'll show us a Black Panther trailer at New York Comic Con.
Maybe that's this week.
It's October 5th through the 8th. So maybe. Here's hoping.
It typically New York Comic Con seems to be more about TV than
they
film.
have Jessica
I know,
Jones
but still maybe.
But still, and Thor Ragnarok is just a month away now. Like, as of today, it's a month away.
Oh my gosh!
Right? Yeah,
oh
November 3rd.
And then,
oh my God!
So maybe a month we'll get Black Panther. I mean, I still want it for New York.
Well, at the very least, we know that trailer has to play during then.
Yeah. Well, and the full Black Panther trailer has to come out by the end of October. Has to.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'll get my Stranger Things. I'll get my Black Panther.
Oh, Stranger Things. All right. New images of Evangeline Lilly as Wasp also appeared online. Here we go. I mean, they're good pictures. Don't really tell us anything, but it's cool. It's just great to see the Wasp.
Yes.
Like, she was a founding Avenger. It took us how many films to finally get to the Wasp?
Too
That's
many.
okay. That's okay. But
better late than never. Glad to have her now.
Yep. And to quote her in the first movie, about damn time. About damn time.
Indeed.
So let's move on. Dark Phoenix. This is interesting. Until I remember that we had to talk about the Inhumans. I was like, maybe we'll make this the end story, because this could be interesting to really dig into. This is Olivia Munn said that X-Men Dark Phoenix is a two-parter. It's a two-part saga.
Okay.
X-Men Dark Phoenix, and then X-Men
Everything's a two-parter
Dark
now.
Phoenix Rising, I guess. I don't know.
I think that it could possibly work better. I don't know if
it probably would. I mean, it's a lot of subject matter to take on. I mean, kind of think of everybody saw It, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I mean, when you read the book, okay, I've read everything and watched everything that Stephen King has done. Even the sometimes they come back sequels, which are horrible. Wow. They're horrible. Don't watch those.
They sound amazing.
Yeah, don't they?
I'm surprised.
But like with it, I mean, think about it. It is way too much. That book is this thick.
Yeah.
It's this thick.
Yeah.
You can't do it in one movie. I'm glad they didn't try to.
Yeah.
So, but in that case, yes, it's a two-parter. So yeah, with Dark Phoenix, I mean, yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing. Like, the Dark Phoenix saga, if they do almost an exact, like, adaptation from the comic, that could absolutely be a two-parter. That could absolutely be a two-parter. But the first movie shouldn't be Dark Phoenix. The first movie should be Phoenix, the Phoenix Saga.
Ooh,
then the second movie would be Dark Phoenix. And what you would see at the end of the Phoenix Saga, like you would see her inhabiting the Phoenix, having problems with it, Hellfire Club coming after her. They're still a thing, surprise. Yeah. They come after her, they kidnap her, the X-Men have to go save her, whatever else. She's stuck in like that weird like Jason Wingard like alternate reality. Like that would be an intense thing to watch on film, and then have the X-Men come save her. You know, then you get that awesome part. Like that's one of the most, by the way, if you haven't read the Phoenix Saga, go like just for the Wolverine part. Oh. Where, God, I can't remember the name of the Hellfire Club member who like he can control an object's mass. He makes Wolverine like 2 tons. Like he doesn't grow. He's just like all of a sudden like, you weigh 2 tons as you are, and he falls through the floor into the sewers. And the Hellfire Club fights the rest of the X-Men, completely forget about Wolverine. Then you get one of the most iconic Wolverine panels ever, where it's kind of a downward angle shot from the top, and it's him in the sewers, like looking up with his claws popped, and he's like, "Now it's my turn, bub." And it's just like, yeah, this next issue of the comic's gonna be awesome. Like it's just Wolverine, and they delivered. They delivered. Like nice. John Byrne is an amazing artist. Chris Claremont's a great writer, and like that second issue or the second part of that story after that was like Wolverine just like wreaking havoc on the Hellfire Club, like nice. By himself. Like it's just like, oh geez, he's good. He's very good. Anyway, like that would be the way to do it, because then the Dark Phoenix, she goes like all God mode and disappears and goes and blows up a freaking planet.
You could and then you could address that in the second one where you go cosmic.
Yeah,
kind of
you go cosmic.
Since they're like, oh, we don't want to go cosmic. Then fine. No. The first part, you don't have to.
And introduce that maybe.
Yeah. Like, and then the second part, off to the races.
Yeah, like you introduce like this is a cosmic entity that's like, you don't know that initially, but by the end of the film, you're like, this is a cosmic entity. Oh my God, it's calling her home. Then the end of this first film, she disappears. Yeah. The second film starts with her decimating an effing planet by making their star go supernova, and she's like, well, that was fun, I'm the Phoenix, bye. Like
exactly like that.
Yeah, and then
okay, thanks, please.
Okay, thanks, bye. And then the Shi'ar come to Earth. Like that's the second movie. That's like,
it's great. I love that.
Simon Kinberg, hire me.
Let's write it, and then we'll just cast all of us in it, and we'll just film it with our phones.
Yeah, let's do it. We can do that. That's easy. That's what Inhumans
We'll play multiple characters. It'll work.
That character you were looking for, shout out to the chat. They helped me out. Harry Leland.
Yes!
Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew it was like such a simple name. Like he doesn't even have like a superhero name. It's just like, hey, Harry Leland, I sell insurance in Montana.
Yeah.
It's just like so funny.
Thank you, Michael B.
Michael B. Michael B. Anyway, her direct quote, interviewing with Collider, they asked her about it, and she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm supposed to be vague. That's my answer. I'm horrible at this. It's like a two-parter, this movie. That's more than I've said in general. I don't know why people have to be so secretive. I don't, like, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a two-parter.
Yeah.
May not be. I don't know. Maybe she's like, there's so much in this movie that it's like a two-parter.
Or it might be that it's a two-parter.
Or it might be that it's like legitimately an actual two-parter.
Or be right up there with Zoe Saldana way back when, be like, oh yeah, you mean the second Avenger? You mean Gauntlet?
You mean Gauntlet? Yeah, Gauntlet.
Gauntlet.
Yeah,
Be like, so it's called Gauntlet.
So it's Infinity Gauntlet, you say?
Okay.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for an answer today.
Okay, Wimpy.
Popeye reference for all you young kids. I'm an old man.
They have Wimpies in London.
Do they?
Yeah, it's an actual. Well, I don't know if it exists anymore, but it was like, it was a restaurant called Wimpies.
Is it all hamburgers that you don't have to pay for that day?
I'm gonna say yes.
All of our British friends, if you've eaten at a Wimpy's, let us know.
Have you ever been there on a Tuesday?
Oh my God, if they have Tuesday specials, I want to go to London just for that. I'm not even that big of a Popeye fan, but I'll go to London for that. That's the only reason I'll go to London. I'm just kidding. I really want to go to London. Someone sent me.
Oh, it's a fantastic.
I've always wanted to go. Like, that's like a dream place. That and the Mediterranean, I've always wanted to go to.
I lived there for 3.5 years.
What?
Yeah.
How am I just now? I'm learning that on air?
I also lived in Iceland for 2.5.
Oh my God, you're the worst. What kind of friend are you?
When would that ever come up in conversation?
I don't know. Why did it come up now?
Wimpies.
Wimpies of all things.
Yeah.
Like the best character on Popeye. Who knew? All right. Yeah. Thor Ragnarok. Nothing, no tremendously big news here, but this is fun. The Warriors 3 have been teased in... oh, wait, no. I forgot to talk about Brie Larson. Sorry. I marked out Captain Marvel for some reason. I got too excited to get on to Thor Ragnarok, apparently. Brie Larson was talking about the challenges of taking on the Captain Marvel role, and by that, she doesn't mean, like, people are going to hate her or whatever. I mean, fans might be like, that's not the right interpretation, possibly. Yeah. But that's not what she's referencing here. Speaking with Porter Magazine, she said that she actually wrestled back and forth a lot with taking this role on because this role is going to be very demanding in terms of its prep, in terms of its rehearsal, in terms of... Like, it's not just shooting for 2 to 3 months, which is, you know, like standard time to shoot an action film of this size is about 2 to 3 months.
I mean, it's not just, you know, throwing a wig on her and being like, hey, stand in front of this camera.
Yeah, it's not. Like, she's got to dedicate herself to getting into superhero shape, to reading the comics, knowing the source material. With Marvel, according to past interviews with her, she's also an integral part of helping form the story because they go to her and say, you are now one of our experts on this character in terms of who she actually is and what decisions she would actually make, how she would actually react to these things. Here's kind of a story point that we're thinking of. Would Carol Danvers react in A, B, and C? And she's like, if she says no, they change the script for her. Like, that's kind of amazing. Like, that's a lot of power to give an actor, but they trust... I mean, she's an Oscar winner.
That's
a
dream scenario for any actor.
Right?
It's like if they did Spectrum, and I'd love to play Spectrum, then it's like that would be an excellent thing.
Yeah,
to do.
Right. So, so it's a lot before the movie. Then the movie is demanding in and of itself. Then you've got the whole like reshoots, post, like this will take up a couple of years of her life on top of that just being this film. That's just this film. Like, she can do other projects and stuff like that, but there's a lot of prep work that she has to not go do other things. Like, she can't be with her family as much, like all that kind of stuff. So she really went back and forth saying, is this really worth it? And she decided, ultimately, obviously, yes, it is. Her quote is, I spent months thinking about whether or not I was going to do the film, and I realized that it was a chance to tell a story on the largest scale possible. I know it's going to make me lose some of the things I love most about my life, but I think it's worth it. And then she goes on to talk about how this is the kind of role that she wishes that she had when she was a little girl. Because this is like, she's legitimately the most powerful hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aside from maybe Hulk. Yeah. But Hulk can't fly and shoot laser beams from his hands.
And we don't have Adam Warlock yet.
And we don't have Adam Warlock. But even then, I think she could probably give Adam Warlock a run. Like, honestly. So to be one of the most powerful superheroes in one of the most popular cinematic franchises in history, certainly one of the most profitable.
That's something you say yes to.
Yeah, like
I'm glad she said yes.
Yeah, so she was like, this is kind of a big responsibility, and that's going to outweigh everything else that I have to give up. And yeah, good on you. Happy birthday, Brie Larson. That's what I'm trying to say. We share the same birthday. Call me to come do our show because we share a birthday. We're birthday buddies. That's how it works, right? Birthday buddies?
Yeah.
All right, Thor Ragnarok. Let's talk about it. We're finally there, Anthony. Sorry I jumped ahead. So here's the story. Just this still is 1/3 of the Warriors 3. It's Hogun. I can't remember the actor's name, but that is Hogun. And this is, we've heard that the Warriors 3 are in Thor Ragnarok, but now we have visual proof that they are. Do you want to hear my theory on why this is a bad picture?
Okay. Does it involve Lady Sif at all?
No.
Okay.
No, it involves Hela.
Oh, okay. Oh.
This formation looks like the formation that is facing Hela when she first appears.
Oh.
And then she goes, it feels so good or whatever, and then she burns Asgard.
Oh man! And then if that's one of them there, then there's probably another one right in front, and then another one on the side surrounding Hela. Ooh.
Like, I think that they're probably leading battalions of Asgardian warriors.
It's a possibility, or it could be at the end of the film, and they're getting marching orders from their new God King.
It could be. Could be.
It so isn't. Now that you said that, seems
it's a
so
movie
apparent
called
to me.
Ragnarok about the destruction of Asgard. The end of the world is nigh. Boop. So there's going to be a lot of death, and like they went through rewrites after the initial few drafts of the script. They went through a lot of rewrites because it was too dark.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's right. And then that's how they got
And that's how they got Taika Waititi involved and everything else. But it was too dark.
Yeah.
That being the case, my guess.
And this was their follow-up from Dark World.
Yeah.
It was too dark.
We had a movie called Dark World. Let's make something darker. Never mind. We don't like this. Get Taika Waititi. Make it funny.
Make it dark but funny. Dark
elements are still going to exist. Taika Waititi was brought in to give levity to those darker moments, but the dark moments are still there. And my guess is that we lose some of the Warriors 3. That's my guess. That's not a spoiler. I don't know if that happens or not, but that's my educated guess.
Well, D Money's in the chat just said Matt confirmed Helen murked the Heroes 3. So that's one way to set her up.
Matt Key confirms.
I did not confirm that.
Why would you kill her? Why would you do that?
I don't want to kill them. I want them to live.
Matt,
Jeez, Matt, you have the power and
want
you
everyone to
use it
die.
that way.
I want to kill everybody. I want to watch the world burn. And then give out rubies to kids in the jungle, whatever that quote was. I don't remember. Whatever. I'm just mumbling. Happy birthday. Anyway, that's that for that. Then we also have, and I just want to mention this really quick. There's a lot of trailers are coming out for Thor. Lots and lots more trailers.
Yeah.
I don't speak for you guys, but okay. I think that we all agree we don't want to spoil any more of the movie for ourselves beyond the trailer. Like, and maybe you do. Maybe you do. But in past previous instances, this has not been the case. So
I'm okay either way, but I would prefer to not have to delve too much into it anymore. Because I totally would prefer to just have November 3rd happen, 3D IMAX, and enjoy my Ragnarok, enjoy my 70s music video that will actually be really dark, but then the 70s were dark.
Yeah, so 70s were dark.
They were happy, but they were dark.
Yeah, there were a lot of drugs in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I should know, I was born then. So old. But there's a new trailer out. I have not watched it. It's not a full trailer. It's just there's been like 2 or 3 TV trailers released in the last week.
Right.
And do not. I guess I'm just like warning you that we're gonna tell you when the trailers are out, but we're not gonna watch them and do reviews of them because we don't want to spoil it for ourselves. We're selfish. So, sorry.
But yeah, we'll tell you that. Yeah, there are trailers. Go ahead and watch them.
There are trailers. Go watch them.
Yeah.
But you found something that I wasn't aware of. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so Marvel has 31 days of Halloween, and you can follow it on Twitter. It's hashtag HELAWEEN, and it's a bunch of they're supposed to do new content each day, and a lot of other people have jumped into the hashtag and are putting up their Hella cosplay and their Funko Pops, and it's just really cute.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's something. Just go ahead and check it out on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean their publicity engine is in full swing because it's a month. Comes out in a month.
It's supposed to be new content every day of the month.
Man, crazy. All right, well, go, if you like Twitter, go do that. Thanks for that, Markia. All right, let's run over to the Runaways real quick, where we got our first full look at the Pride. I did not write all the actors' names down, nor their character names. But all you need to do is see it. So here
Spike from Buffy is there. But that's old news. We all need that.
So this is the actual Runaways. Here's that picture. Let's go on to the next one.
And this will be playing on Hulu.
This will be on Hulu, I believe, November 22nd. I wrote a piece about these pictures for Geek Girl Authority, and I posted it on Twitter. And I had one of our Marvellites on the article I wrote. I was like, there's no release date yet. Like, I completely forgot about November, and a Marvelite, whose name I forgot, I apologize, was like, hey, man, it's November 22nd. I was like, oh,
nice.
Shoot, I better go change that. Speaking of, I should actually, after the show, go change that. Because I
do like this picture of the Pride, if we can put that back up there.
Yeah.
I really like this because it's, and I hope that isn't too much of that's not a spoiler for anyway. They've kind of said it with that.
They'll say that.
And you find out in the first episode. Yeah. It's like, it could practically be the first panel of the first comic. They could have done it that way for it. And I just love the normality of this.
Right?
It's like, these are epic level supervillains.
Just hanging around a kitchen island.
I mean, and it's just like they're just hanging out. It's like, no, you're not going to see these people sacrifice someone, please.
No, they don't. They're eating a cheese platter.
No, I know what movie you're referencing. Kaliman. That's not them.
That's not them. Yes, it is.
It's so them.
It's so them. Maybe worse.
It looks great. I love it.
Can't remember the actor's name, but this is Chase Stein.
Yeah, it's Greg Sulkin as
Greg
Chase
Sulkin.
Stein.
Thank you. Chase Stein's power is that his dad is a mechanical engineer and he steals equipment from his dad.
Yeah. Well,
but he goes on to become like his own engineer in his own right.
Does. You know, he's not smart, but he's crafty.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah. He's more than street smart.
Yeah.
He's a scrappy engineer. He's a good improviser.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's able to see something working and maybe he wouldn't be able to build it per se, but after a while it gets to the point where he is able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we have Nico Minoru. She is I think maybe she's like a practicing Wiccan in the series. I can't remember.
Oh, well, she's are you
Well, I know who she is. Like she's like Sister Grimm. Like she's Nico Minoru. I know who she is, like character wise. But I'm saying like I think in the series
like
she's practicing Wiccan.
Oh.
So
okay. Well, you know that makes sense for that character.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Here we have Carolina Dean, who is actually an alien. Who I think she goes by Lucy in the Sky. I want to say that.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is
Lucy,
her.
like,
well, Lucy in the Sky is her code name when they were coming up with code names. And then Alex is like, no, I'm just Alex.
I'm just Alex.
I don't want a code name.
Yeah.
I don't want a code name.
I'm just Alex Wilder. Just call me by my name.
Yeah,
Whatever. Like we're on the run. Whatever. They know us.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah. Stop. You guys are dumb.
It's like we live in a hole in the ground.
Speaking of Alex Wilder, there he is. Again, don't remember the actor's name, but there he is. Let's go on to the next one. Gertie Yorks. She's the one who has a dinosaur.
Yeah.
She's from a family of time travelers. And it's Gertie and Old Lace.
Oh, the show must go on.
And then Molly Hernandez. Molly Hayes in the comics. They've changed her ethnicity for the series, which I think is a smart move. Molly Hernandez, she is a mutant. Which will be interesting because I don't think they can do that in this series. She's a power girl. She's a power girl. And she's like some of the more infamous panels of her are of her like holding up trucks and like stopping trucks, but she's like 8. Which
reminds me real quick. I mean, to just, obviously this will be coming out in November, but if you want some Power Girl action before then, and I found it on Netflix and it's so great. It's called Strong Girl Bong Soon. It's Korean. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's basically Bong Soon, she comes from a long line of powerful women, and they have to utilize their power in a moral way because if they use it immorally, they're struck with disease and they lose their power.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
All right,
it's set in modern times. It's on Netflix. Watch it.
What's it called
I'm
again?
about like 3 episodes in.
What's it called?
Strong Girl Bong Soon.
Cool. All right, go look it up. We've got to move on because we're running out of time and we still need to do our reviews. Yeah.
150.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're teasing Intergalactic Season 5. We already knew that, so we're going to move on, but there it is. Yeah, it's going to be on space.
Yes.
All right, real quick. Blue Apron also are sponsoring our show today.
Yes, delicious Blue Apron.
Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. They achieve this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients, and building a community of home chefs. Their featured upcoming meals. Are you ready?
Yes.
I mean, just get ready because I am starving. This is going to be terrible for me to read. Cheesy chicken and black bean enchiladas with salsa verde.
Ooh.
That sounds like the greatest thing of all time. Until you get to shrimp marinara with spaghetti, spinach, and parsley, which is just like...
There we go.
You throw spinach into spaghetti and you're talking my language. Maple gravy smothered pork chops with stewart collard greens and sweet potatoes. Oh my God.
Nice.
Spiced cauliflower and pepper with jasmine rice and cilantro yogurt sauce.
Yogurt sauce.
Okay.
All of that sounds good.
I have to keep these in mind. Maybe I'll cook it myself.
All of this sounds good, but man, those enchiladas and that spinach spaghetti. I don't know. Maple gravy? How do you even do that? All right. So... we've done Blue Apron a few times. They've been nice enough to give us like some codes to try their service out, and they're great. They're great. It comes directly to your door.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun cook. You know, it doesn't take long. It's like
takes
45,
like 30 or 40 minutes. Yeah, but it's
yeah.
like a home cooked meal, and like Brittany and I cooked it in our kitchen. It was great.
Yeah, and then if you're worried about all the little bottles and everything like that, you can put that back into the box as long as it's 2 meals worth, and they do take it back for recycling.
Yeah,
so
exactly. They take it back for recycling, and yeah.
Yep.
So check out this week's menu and get $30 off your first meal with free shipping.
Nice.
Go to blueapron.com/Marvel. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. blueapron.com/Marvel. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. All right.
Nice. So reviews.
Let's start with The Gifted.
Yes.
Full disclosure, I still have 10 minutes left of The Gifted.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes.
I have the last 10 minutes.
Just did not get enough time.
Come on.
I have seen all of it. Ollie, have you seen all of it?
No. So I beat you. I have what 40 minutes to watch.
Matt confirms I beat Ollie.
You murked me. Thanks a lot.
So happy about this.
I love beating Ollie.
Well, we can keep it spoiler free then, and we can just
we'll keep it relatively spoiler free. But
spoiler free.
You have seen the full.
I have
Episodes.
Yes.
So let's get your impressions first.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was a good pilot. This was a
solid pilot.
It was definitely a solid pilot. They definitely checked off the boxes. I felt like maybe there were perhaps 1 or 2 mini characters, but they still handled it very well. I enjoyed the characterization of the daughter. Her name's Lauren in it, because all too frequently, like in movies or whatever, the teenage girl is depicted as kind of shallow, or she has to have this coming of age thing, while she's very mature. Not only that, but it seems like she has a mature boyfriend also, where there's this one part where they're having a conversation. He's like, oh, they're going to the dance. So like, oh, choose which outfit. It's like a FaceTime thing. He's like, oh, I don't know, they both look good. And she's like, no, come on, choose.
Come on.
And instead of the stereotypical, oh, I don't, blah blah blah, he's like, well, do the blue one. That looks nice. Do you want me to pick you up? And I'm like, oh my God, that's actually refreshing.
Yeah, I
actually refreshing.
I had the same reaction when they were at the dance. He said something like, so you have to be back by 11. She's like, yeah. He's like, come on, you can't stay out a little bit later. She's like, no. And he's like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He didn't push. He didn't pry. He wasn't like sexing her up or anything. It was like, it was very
like
kind of a real
normal
relationship, like and respectful, and it was kind of nice to see, like,
thank goodness,
respectful, like oh, that's what respect looks like. All right, she said no. You asked, she said no.
It's like great. Yeah, it's like, hey, you're welcome to ask. You heard no, great. No, but I also liked her character because she was decisive. The rest of them,
that's actually a really good point.
The rest of them, I mean, good character, good actors, but not a whole. It was like everybody's like, oh, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? She's like, we're going. It's like, yes, we are. I'm still in this truck. Yes, we are. Yeah. It's like, great. We need that character, and I kind of liked Blink with this too, because she was decisive. Be like, I know he told me not to tell anybody that he was leaving. I'm gonna go tell somebody. Yeah. Because it's like, we need to move this action forward. Yeah. It's like, let's get.
You have to have deciders.
Yeah, with Amy Acker. God, I love me some Amy Acker.
She's great.
I love me some Amy Acker.
Yeah, I love her.
I mean, I've seen practically everything that she's done, mainly Joss Whedon stuff, but I loved her as Root in Person of Interest. I really enjoyed her in Angel when she was both, what's her name, Burkle? She was Burkle, and then also she was Illyria, and I just felt like they underutilized her for this pilot. She should have... she's a doctor in it, and then Reed Strucker is a lawyer for, well, let's say lawyer for the bad guys. Yeah. He's a prosecutor for the mutant control. I'm just trying to say this real quick. So instead of just having her be doctored somewhere else, I think she should also be working for the same, company that he's working for. Do that. It's a more interesting choice to do. And then plus, there's a scene where you have Reed Strucker trying to convince a mutant captive to rat on that person's friends. And he does this with evidence that, if you see the scene, then you'll see, and that's a big plot point. It would have been more effective if it was Amy Acker as a doctor doing that particular scene. Yeah. I feel personally. Sure. So instead, it kind of seemed like she was, like, yelling at the kids to be like, oh, can we have a real conversation? I guess not. And it's very cute. It really is, but it's Amy Acker. Yeah. Use her.
You know what kind of, like, now that we're talking about it, kind of actually bothered me was that we saw the man at work, but she's a doctor. We never saw her, at least I didn't, in the 40 minutes of the series that I watched. I didn't see her ever at work. And I was like, wait, she's a doctor, right? Like, is she off for a month? Like, is she on sabbatical? Like, why is she not at the hospital right now? Like,
I don't know.
Anyway, that's such a quibble because
but this is a great pilot. Yeah, it really is.
Like, can I tell you the scene that sold me?
Yeah, please.
As if I needed selling. Like, I was on board from the beginning. I was like, this is really good. But the scene where I was like, ooh, I actually really might really might love this show was the scene that you were just talking about with Stephen Moyer, right? The actor as Reed Strucker. Not because of him. Polaris was great.
Yeah.
Lorna Dane, she was great.
Yeah.
And what was it that he showed her? Is that a mystery?
We do know what that is, but I'd rather not. That's a spoiler thing.
At the end of the episode?
Well, that's a spoiler thing if I say what that.
But did I miss it in that scene, or do you find out at the end of the episode?
You find out later what it is that he showed her.
Okay, so he shows her that. She loses it.
She loses it.
And as he's leaving, like, he's in a plastic box, similar to what we saw, like, Magneto always put in, you know, in the X-Men movies. She's in that, but there's still metal around.
Yeah.
She just kind of doesn't have a lot of access to it. And she gets so angry, she rips a computer server out of that room and throws it at him, but he's in that clear glass cage, so he's fine. But, like, that moment to me was like, oh, my God, that is really clever. Like, because I didn't see that coming because she's in that glass cage. You're not even thinking about her being able to access stuff outside of that. And it hits the glass, but it was glass, so you could barely see it. Like, just the way it was shot. I was just like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on board. I'm on board. That's great.
I'm telling you, they had me in the trailer when they showed me the Sentinel spiders.
Yeah.
I was all about that. I love Minority Report. I'm a big sci-fi person. I even watched Lost in Space. Do not rewatch that. It does not hold up. Yeah. But yeah, those Sentinel spiders, and then you saw them in action later, and I was like, oh God, get it off me, when I saw it, the mutant that it had grabbed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm super excited to see where they go with it. Real quick, I want to say, in an interview with Comic Book Resources, the show creator Matt Nix was asked specifically about the X-Men and the Brotherhood, because we've seen in the trailer and we've seen in the pilot now that they specifically mention the X-Men are gone, the Brotherhood are gone.
So
what happened?
Missing.
Like, what happened?
We haven't heard from them.
And the showrunner Matt Nix told CBR, the X-Men are gone, the Brotherhood is gone, most of the powerful classic mutants are not around. People don't know where they've gone. They are shrouded in mystery. It comes out gradually over the course of this series that there's been a cataclysmic event, a bit of a 9/11 event that caused enormous social upheaval and a lot of hatred towards mutants. It's somehow related to the disappearance of the X-Men and the Brotherhood. And I just am intrigued.
Yes.
Color me intrigued.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
They've got me for the first season.
Yeah, they've run the first season. They've run the first season with me too.
I like this.
And what I'm hoping for is sort of like a House of M, Scarlet Witch, like alternate reality sort of thing happen.
Okay.
And, oh my God, can you imagine how epic that would be?
That would be an interesting reset button for season 2.
So, and then we need to get to Inhumans, but briefly, Matt Nix also referenced Magneto, saying that you'll find that out. Like, that's possible, that she's actually Magneto's daughter, and that Magneto may actually make an appearance at some point.
Oof.
So I won't tell the whole review, the whole quote there, because we don't have time. We need to get to the Inhumans.
So
but
that was a very nice, super spoiler light review. But
yeah.
Go ahead and watch this. It's good.
It's good. It's good.
I like it.
Speaking of watch this, Inhumans. Now, again, I will say, they are sponsoring our show, but we do also have to give our opinions. Like, we're not going to lie to you, especially since we haven't been lying to you this entire time.
Exactly.
Like, we can't all of a sudden switch. But I will also say, watch it. Go watch it. Like, you have nothing to lose.
Watch it
go
yourself.
Watch it.
This is just our own personal opinions.
These are our opinions.
Go ahead and watch it yourself. And
if you like it, yell at us.
But yell at Matt.
Yeah, yell at me.
I'm not here for that. It's just my personal opinion.
I can take the yelling. So, have you did not see the pilot, but you saw it in IMAX theaters, yeah?
I did.
Okay.
So I'm missing like a chunk that they added into like the premiere.
But since I didn't see the movie, I don't know.
So have you seen the TV one?
No.
Okay, because I don't know what was the additional, because remember there's one additional storyline that Scott Buck put in specifically for TV, and I'm curious what it is. So maybe if chat room knows what it is.
Chat room, let us know, because I'm also intrigued by that.
Yeah. All right. So
Marquia, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I was still disappointed.
Yeah.
I was still disappointed. I mean, I understand where they were going for it, and I felt like the Inhumans' powers were a nuisance to the creator, and that he was trying. Oh my God,
that's such a good way to put it.
He was trying to get rid of that to concentrate on other things, and it's like, no, this is part of who they are.
You've got to integrate the whole.
Keep this, and change what you're thinking into something else.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, it felt like Medusa's hair was getting in the way for him, so shaved it off.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like...
By the way, spoilers. If you haven't seen it,
for this particular one...
This is going to be a spoiler review.
Yeah, for the Inhumans one, because not only was it released in theaters, it has also, you know, did its TV premiere September 29th, I believe. So yeah, this one will be spoilerful. So if you're going to leave now, then join us after you watch it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like, Karnak's abilities to find fault with everything is just in the way. I'm going to hit him on the head and he's going to lose it. And it's, you know, Gorgon's really strong on land. I'm going to put him over where the water is.
Yeah.
And it's like, this isn't a nuisance.
This is who they are.
Use it. Yeah. Utilize it. And it was just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Without the powers. It was just kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I could not get behind the music choices that they would do. I mean,
oh my God,
they're fun remakes of, you know, I think they had Paint It Black and
Come On Through,
but it was just it was off tone for what was going on. And then the other music that they did have that wasn't, I guess, copyrighted music kind of felt like a synthesizer or you know, something like the whole of it felt like 90s sci-fi that had a very low budget to work with, but had, you know, good actors, but a low budget when it came to writing and also effects.
Totally agree.
And that's what it felt like to me. So it's like this might have been better placed after the first X-Men movie came out. Like then I'd be like, oh, you know, but at this point for me, the bar is too high for this to kind of be a thing that I would watch on my own free time.
Yeah. I absolutely, like, you are dead on with, like, the powers were getting in the way, and Scott Buck and the creators just could not wait to get those out of the way. Yeah. Like that was one of the worst things about this to me is it became very evident in the second episode. They couldn't, like, Lockjaw's out of commission. Triton is now dead, or for the foreseeable episodes, like, he dies in the first 5 minutes of the series, and it's like, he's a major part of the Inhumans story. Like, they don't even use him a lot in the comics, but they've never, we got to kill Triton.
He's probably going to come back, like, episode 3 or 4.
He'll probably come back, but my guess is he won't come back until towards the end, because they probably got rid of him because of the makeup costs. Yeah. And it's like, well, now we have to put him in a chair. And it's like, but you got rid of the one person who looked like an Inhuman.
Yeah, like, that's another thing.
Even
where were all the Inhumans?
Yeah, and like they had Iridia, which was cool, and she had her pretty wings, but you saw that for all of
like 4
seconds.
Yeah,
you know, and
like
then
a little part of.
Now I will say, oh my God, am I forgetting? I wrote it. Thank God they used Eldrak, the door Inhuman.
Oh yes,
I was like, oh, they're using Eldrak. One of the most obscure characters in Marvel history, like Eldrak, the Inhuman who went through Terrigenesis and became a door to everything. Like, it's such a weird, tragic character, but to me, Eldrak is, like, that is
Inhuman.
That is Inhumans. Like, you can go through Terrigenesis, and if the Inhuman society that is Adelan needs a door somewhere, guess what? You're the lucky one. You get to stay in one spot and be a door, and that is now your life.
Yeah,
and like, I love that.
I liked his answer where she's like, "No, you gotta, you know, take me to where he is." But like, no. Yeah, like, and then I was expecting like some epic speech of like, "Oh, morality and da da da." I was like, "It's painful." I'm like, "Okay, I like that."
Okay, it's painful.
Like that's funny.
I will say in the comics, it was always just like a door, and they were like, "Eldrak, we need to go there," and then the door would open and they would go. But like, so like
that was fun because that was an addition.
It was
that
an
wasn't
addition,
a subtraction.
But it was like, but you can be creative with that, but you can't. Oh, come on. So here's like I did a little bit of thought and like a little research because I'm so upset. Like I hate being upset at this. Scott Buck, and I've spoken to a couple of friends who work in the industry as well. Scott Buck and the director, Roll Ryan, who's also listed as an executive producer on the series, they are both known for and brought into projects that they need to come in under a budget.
This was not the project for that.
And
not Inhumans.
So here's what's interesting. I've thrown so much hate at Scott Buck for ruining one of my favorite Marvel franchises. I love the Inhumans. I think that they're fascinating. They're one of the most Kirby creations that still exist in the Marvel comics.
They are full Kirby.
They're full on Kirby. They're out there and weird. They live on the freaking moon. Come on, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. Like, we live on the moon. Whatever. Ha, we're Kree. Whatever. Deal with it. We have powers. We get it for society. Whatever. It's weird. It's weird, and I love it. It's great. This is on Marvel.
Yeah,
this is on Marvel TV. They're the ones who screwed this up.
Yeah, we brought this up. Ollie and I brought this up on the actual Inhumans where we had Zach. Yeah, and it was, we keep on saying Scott Buck, but it's like, hey, who hired him? Who knew what he does and then brought him in? Like,
it's very much, it's kind of like blaming the gun instead of like the shoe, or like blaming the sword or the knife or whatever. It's like, no, it's not that. It's the person behind it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like he's a hired person. He did what he was hired to do. And now we're mad at him for doing what he was hired to do. He was told, bring this in under budget, bring it in for an exceptionally low amount of money. And that's what he did. He got rid of Lockjaw.
He did what he was paid.
He got rid of the person who needed the most prosthetics. He took off all the hair. And it's like, all right,
that
cool.
was not earned at all.
Like,
that was not
none
earned.
of it. And like, they were treating the moments like so dramatically. It's like, you can't force me to feel with your filmmaking. Like, that has to come from the actor.
Yeah.
And
you're not giving them the words. The writing just didn't feel like it was there.
The cast is phenomenal.
The cast is great.
The cast is amazing.
Swan, I love Serena Swan.
Yeah, a lot of emoting. There was great emoting. I will say I couldn't stand the sign language that he was doing.
I agree.
That was, if they were going to put that much focus where they're actually going to do the camera angle on his hands, he needs to be actually doing a sign language that we have here on Earth.
Yeah. Like the apartments look like Earth apartments, just like concrete. It's like, so they're all like brutalist, minimalists on the moon. They build Adelan with concrete. Yeah. And by the way, the biggest problem with the series for me is, and I've seen a lot of other sites cover this, but I totally agree. The good guys are the bad guys. Like, you know what? Yeah, screw them. Like, oh, you went through Terrigenesis and didn't have powers. I guess you get to go to the mines. It's like, no, like, don't be an accountant. Like, who are you to send, like, you're, like, subjecting them to slavery for their genetics? Like, you should be overthrown. I don't care that that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Like, Maximus is the revolution. He's going about it in the wrong way, but I'm kind of with Maximus on this.
It's kind of like and he's a good bad guy in that way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you should be able to have resources like everybody else.
Yeah.
And you know, if they have live television uplinks from Earth, and of course, why wouldn't they? The moon is just right there.
Yeah.
Then that looks pretty good down there.
Yeah.
Why not establish contact with that? And you know, there's plenty of Earth to go around.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and if they can subsist on, you know, the moon and be a self-contained society, they could do that anywhere that nobody wants to live on Earth.
Yeah.
You know, or can live on Earth. The middle of the Sahara, or
go to a volcano.
Antarctic. They could be underwater.
Yeah.
You know, they can they can exist in space. They can be underwater. In the vacuum of
space, without with a fifth of the moon's the Earth's gravity on the moon. They figured that out too. Like, they're not bouncing around.
Yep.
Unbelievable, this show. It like the point where like I screamed at my TV was Karnak falling down a mountain.
Yes.
I was like, Karnak would know that rock would give way.
Yeah.
He would know. He'd be like, that's a weak rock.
No, and that's one of those. That's one of those things that his power was a nuisance. So get rid of it. Hit him on the head. You know.
Yeah, but like,
and I really liked Karnak.
So did I. Ken Leung. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like when they're doing the Terrigenesis. It's a ritual. It's it's a ceremony, and then he says to like, everything's going to hell. All of us are going to die. We're just part of the void. You know?
I love that. I love how existential he is.
That was fantastic.
The girl, like at the very beginning, there was that lady who was serving the royal family, and she was kind of giving him eyes, and he was like, so here's what's going to happen. Like, we're going to talk, and you're going to think I'm awesome, but then I'm going to start to see this flaw, and 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 you're not going to like me for long. Like, I don't remember the exact line, but I was like, yeah, you're writing Karnak relatively well.
That's actually
I can see that.
Spot on.
And then like they did that really weird, confusing power thing with him, where like he
that was
saw
weird.
all the options. It was like, wait, did he rewind
I thought it was that he rewound because it was kind of like, did you see that? Okay, here's another bad sci-fi movie. Did you see Next with Nicolas Cage?
No.
Okay, that one I actually own.
Oh my God.
I own a lot of bad sci-fi. But with that, he could do all of the different choices. So it seemed like he was rewinding time, but it was actually because he had this ability that he would be able to see every choice and then he would just choose the best one. So that's why I got it like with Karnak, but I think they could have at least done, I don't know, a different color or something while he was doing it. Or
like, so have you ever played the Batman Telltale game?
I played every game.
Okay,
but
so
yes,
the Telltale Batman game where you get into combat and it shows you all of the different characters, like all the bad guys that you have to go fight, and then it's like, do you want to throw this or do this? Do you want to throw this or do this? That's all they had to do with Karnak. Slow the scene down, have him examining, and then like highlight, oh, the knee, oh, the head, oh, like that's all, and then you show that in tremendously fast
and then
action.
like fast.
Like, oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, that's what, like, instead they muddied it. Like, and I liked all the graphics that they had, like all the
I like that.
Like the
with
numbers,
little,
like he's calculating and all that stuff.
With the
like
little writing, that looked good.
That was cool.
Yeah,
they confused that. Like, I was like, how do you
I think they went
get
around
that
it
wrong?
They should have just like tweaked it just a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like a kaleidoscope.
And then like Oron's power is that she has what the comics call parabolic hearing, where if she chooses a word, she can hear every instance that word ever uttered at that moment. So it's like, who's saying Markia right now? Oh, about 500,000 people in the world.
It is a great name.
It's a great
lot
name.
Of people have my
say
name.
But she doesn't have that power. Instead, she apparently can heal from stab wounds.
Yeah, kind of like
so she's a Wolverine.
Was it Mr. Immortal?
Yeah,
where she like died and then she just comes back to life later.
Yeah, like what is that?
But then she healed herself.
She healed herself. I was like, and you watch the wounds stitched together. What is that?
Yeah, but it looks bruisey though.
Yeah,
it's
not her power. What is that?
But if you're a bad guy who and you had your number one hench person, wouldn't you want them to be unkillable? But you'd want them to be unkillable to where they could pop back up again, like Undertaker style.
Yeah, I don't know. This show confused me, and I hate that because I want the Inhumans so bad. I wanted it to work. Anyway, we sadly have to leave that behind. I will say I'll probably give it a couple more episodes. I really want to like it because I love the Inhumans so much, but Gifted pulled me straight in, and
Gifted did.
Inhumans was like, this is Inhumans, and I was like, no, it's not.
No, this is
I'm not paid to know Inhumans as well as you're paid to know Inhumans, and this is not the Inhumans. Markia, take us through the Marvellites.
Yes.
We've got a couple minutes and we have to wrap soon.
All right, so shout outs. Of course, Colt at Cobado. Jada at Merritt_Jada. Nathan Ramirez at Ramirez Nathan77. BS Brewerly at Brian Beerley. Stephanie Chandra. Hey, Stephanie at Steph Amethyst. Brian Trotter at 40-some Geek. Robert Lima at Rob World Eater. JJ Lang at JJ Lang Tweeted. Michael Beltran at Mikey Bell. Ricky Alsace at Vegito247. Lo Rosario at Lo Rosario. Aaron Wilkerson at Aaron Wilk. Hey, Aaron.
Shout out.
So Renee Silva, great show. Love the insight from all of you.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. That's super cool.
We do our best.
And then Vegetable Tube, love Marvel movie news.
Well, we love vegetable tubes.
Yeah, I think that was from YouTube, and I think they say that each episode. Yeah. I like that.
That's funny.
Very
love
fun. So Ashley Houchins. Hey,
Houchins!
Dude. Any chance Ego returns for Avengers 4?
Hopefully not.
Do you really love you some Ego? Probably not. That's my guess. Yeah.
No, I think if we're going to get any kind of Ego type thing, it'll be that a power has manifested inside of Star-Lord.
Yeah.
You know, he's had some time to... Misty doesn't want to stay.
Misty, she's ready to go.
She is. She's like, it's time to go fight some crime, baby. We got to get going. I'm just going to hold her over here. Yeah.
Take a nap over there.
Also from Ashley, any chance we could see some frost giants in Thor Ragnarok?
My guess is on that one.
Yeah.
I bet we see some frost giants,
Like are they going to join Hell, or are they going to just...
Oh, yeah. They hate Asgard. They'll take Asgard out. They don't care.
I don't know. I was just kind of picturing them like seeing everything on a big flat screen, like a frost giant flat screen with frost giant popcorn. Like, yeah,
this is good.
The fall of Asgard.
This is fantastic.
I love this song.
the best song ever by Led Zeppelin, "The Fall of Asgard." I bet we see some frost giants of Jotunheim. I mean, after all, Loki is half frost giant.
Yeah.
All right, that's our show.
That is our that's 150th. And then also hit us up for any ideas that you have for Patreon related things or Patreon related
like what would you
goals.
like to see
like
from
what
us?
would you like to see? Like we have a list, and we've gotten a lot of really good insight from other people that have Patreon. We want to be able to give you what you want also. So please, you can tweet us or Marvel Movie News PTN. And you can also direct message Marvel Movie News PTN for any other ideas.
Yeah, we want to hear from you because we want to give you what you want.
Yeah, we do.
And that's our show. So, Ollie, where can we find you? You
Me.
dreamboat?
Find me on all social media platforms on my dreamboat at Ollie Dreamer.
Yeah, yo.
I gotta go and watch The Gifted ASAP. So
yeah, I need to finish it.
It's fun.
Oh, take that, Captain Marvel.
You took them both.
I took them both down. They're taking naps.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty. MarkeiaMcCarty. And if you love wrestling, then check me out on Mondays at 9 p.m. on AfterBuzz TV, WWE Raw After Show. We do wrestling coverage, and that is every Monday. We're ramping up to TLC, that's Table, Ladders, and Chairs, and that'll be happening in October 22nd. So, yeah.
Nice. My name is Matt Key at the Matt Key. I will be on the Geek and Sundry Twitch channel tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for the Wednesday Club, where we're talking about villains. Beginning October with villains.
Nice.
And by the way, we have...
Talk about Mr. Sinister.
Oh, of course we will. But we have Damien Poitier, who played Thanos in the first Avengers film.
I like that.
He's got a show over at Geek and Sundry called Ask Your Black Geek Friend.
I'm coming to your show.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. So yeah, join me tomorrow night on that show with other Geek and Sundry personalities, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye. Bye. Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.